It isn't really rising up the way I'd expect. Oh my God, it is a monster. There we go, fish on, and a good one, and a good one. Look at that bass, my friend.
Spider web's all up in my beard right now.
Oh, we got a fish on, and there's a big snake right in front of me.
There we go.
Jeez, I swear something just came out of the water. Oh, what the heck? Look at the size of that one, man. That happened. That absolutely blows, man. Well, good morning, my friends, and welcome to that Kentuckessee Anglers Show. In today's video, we're going on a bank fishing adventure chasing largemouth and spotted bass with a new to me creature bait. The bait we're gonna be working with today is the Missile Baits Baby D Bomber in Watermelon Red. Now, here's a look at her outside of the packaging. It's a pretty neat looking bait. I like the profile. It's a bit finessey, but it looks like it's gonna have a nice action, a good flap to it. Rigging wise, we're gonna be running a standard Texas rig. I selected a 2/0 extra wide gap hook and a 1/8 ounce bullet sinker. Now, it looked like it would fit this bait pretty well when I lined them up back at the place. However, if you're unfamiliar with a standard Texas rig, this is very easy to do, man. You're simply gonna take that hook point, stick it in the end of that bait, get it to about that bend. You're gonna pop that hook right through, slide it up the hook, give it a little twist, try to cover that eye as much as possible. Now you're gonna line up your hook. That's where that bait's gonna be sitting. That's where you wanna poke that hook point through, all right? So we're just gonna take a mental note of that, slide it up there, and there we go, man. We're also gonna take our hook point and tuck it in that plastic a little to help prevent snags out here. Now let's get this on the water. Let's see what she can do. Now, the area we're fishing today is an excellent largemouth fishery. It is just gorgeous out here as well. It's a beautiful day. This area does hold a wide variety of species that are gonna be willing to eat this, including spotted and smallmouth bass, so they are less common. We also have freshwater drum, we have gar, caught sauger here, that sort of deal. So very healthy water right here with some awesome fish. I'm excited to get this bait in the water. Let's take a look at her right now. So that watermelon's kind of hard to tell in that lighting, but I do see some contrast between it and my stainage. Kind of hard to determine the action right now, but it looks like it does have some flap. I'm not seeing very much side movement there, but I don't really know. Again, it's kind of hard to tell in this lighting right now. Rod wise, we're gonna be working with medium setup. So I got a medium spinning and a medium casting. We're gonna be alternating between. I figured it would fit this weight range, this bait very, very well. We're running a medium 7-1 fast action spinning setup right now. So let's get this bait out on the water. Now, I am planning to work this like a crawl, though I am gonna vary my retrieve a lot. We're gonna try slowly crawling it, popping it around, swimming it, just really trying to find what these fish are looking for today. I haven't fished this area in about a week, and to be honest, I fished locally over the last couple of days, and I actually got skunked on both of them, so I could use a good day out on the water. I'm feeling pretty confident, though. This bait looks pretty stellar. I really, really like that profile, and I know it's gonna be absolutely munched by just about any bass in here. There we go, fish on, man. Reeled right into that one. I thought we were hung on something. This has got to be a drum. Oh no, I think it is a bass. Yeah. All right, hard fighter, man. Our first of the day. What are you? Beautiful. Spotted bass. That is what I'm talking about, my friends. She's absolutely gorgeous. Good size spot for this area too. Well, there we go, guys. Our first fish of the day, and one to be proud of, a good size, hard fighting spotted bass. Now, these fish don't get huge in my area, these northern spotted bass. This is a good size one, and man, do they fight hard. Let's get her back in. Let's keep going at it. All right, thank you for biting, man. I appreciate that. A sign of life out here. So our bait's in excellent condition. It re-rigged very, very well. No issues here. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Also about that first fish. The skunk has been lifted. I'm feeling a lot better now, man. A couple days without catching a fish and spending a considerable amount of time on the water wears on a man. Makes you start thinking you're never gonna be able to catch a fish again. I've hung out there about 15 minutes casting around. We haven't caught anything else, so we are making our first jump. This area is super pretty. There's a lot of cool areas I kind of want to try to scramble down to. But first, we're going to head to an area I have pulled fish at before. We're going to try to hit some of my sweet spots, some of the areas that I know these bass like to sit first, kind of continue with this bite. Then we're going to do a little bit of exploring. And we're going to just hop down here. Got a nice little stretch of bank we can work, nice overhanging tree, and an abundance of cover that I have had some success with down there. We're going to fish around this area for a little bit. So one thing I've recognized is that our water level is a lot lower than it has been the last few times I have had success in this area, so hopefully it's still hidden. We have a nice overhanging tree. I'm going to throw some casts out right here, and then we're going to work our way to that covered up area. Hopefully pull some nice fish out of it. Let's see what we can do over here first, though. I don't want to walk through this water and spook anything that might be sitting under this tree or in this general area where I have caught some nice fish out of before. Hey, there we go. That's a fish. That's what I'm talking about. I think that was my first cast out there, too. She's not huge, but she's fighting pretty hard. Let's see what we're working with. Oh, she's decent, man. She's decent. Nice largemouth, healthy looking one. The fish in this area are so healthy, man. There we go, perfect hook too. And that's what I'm talking about, my friends. A nice chunky little largie right here. She's well fed, and man, is she a healthy looking fish. Let's get her back in. Let's keep going at it. She's pretty aggressive too, man. Oh, is she gonna jump? No, guess not. And our bait's still in pretty stellar condition, man. That's 2 fish down on the same bait. No issues here. Looking good durability wise so far. Let's get this back out there. Boy, am I glad we made that jump. If I don't catch a fish in like 15 minutes, man, you can count on me jumping for the most part. Unless I'm in an area where I know fish kind of just pass on through, or they tend to sit pretty heavily, for the most part, I'm gonna be jumping a lot. I do have my spots where I kind of stay put, but this area, it's not really like that for me. Look at that. What is that? Is that like a little beaver thing, man? What was that, dude? I swear something just came out of the water. Oh, what the heck? Is that an otter? I have seen otters before, at least I think they're otters. Yeah, that thing just swam by and poked his head out of the water. I'm sure positive that showed up on camera. It looked like the face of a small dog type looking creature. I think it was a little otter, maybe it was a beaver. Not 100% sure. Don't know where it went either. Those things, they can be aggressive. I've heard about an otter attack before, man. So we're gonna watch our back out here. They can be territorial. One time there were 2 otters swimming out of a larger creek I was fishing. I was throwing a crankbait and I had to move areas because they were chasing down my bait trying to eat it. Where did that thing go, man? Last thing I want to do out here is hook into an otter. So we are creeping forward up out of otter country, headed down to this covered up area. I threw a couple more casts back there, didn't pull anything, so we're yet again jumping. Now this is an area that I'd like to sit and chill at for a little bit because it does have an abundance of pretty nice cover down here. You can see these trees, while they are shallow, I do tend to have some success in this area. I can typically pull one out of it, and usually they're decent size too. And we're just gonna start out right here. We're gonna slowly kind of lead up in this area, but we are gonna be working with our casting gear. It's gonna give me a longer cast. I'm running 8-pound fluorocarbon on each one of these rods. This is the same setup. This is a medium 7'4" fast action rod, and I can absolutely fling them with it. Now this is a pretty snaggy area, so I'm gonna have to be kind of careful fishing it. Not really dragging it on bottom, just kind of popping it, springing it around the bottom. That's what we're gonna try to do. We'll breeze over some of these rocks. There we go, fish on, and a good one, and a good one. Get her out of here. Oh, she's chubby, man. I think she's chunky. It's hard to tell right now. Yeah, that's a chunky one. That's a hard fighter. And another absolutely gorgeous largie, and boy is she a stout, man. That's a well-fed fish right there. Awesome, man. Turning out to be a pretty stellar day. No, I think this one's absolutely worth showing off. Just look at her, man. She's a chubby little fella, man. A real hard fighter. Let's get her back in. Turned out to be a pretty awesome day out here, man. I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I haven't been here all that long, and we're absolutely slamming them. Kind of calling where they're going to be sitting to, which is what I like. It's the typical pattern for this area. Let's get her back in. One thing about this spot in particular is that when it gets sunny out, this is one of the few shaded areas you can access from the bank, and these fish tend to get packed up in here. So later on in the day, when we start getting a little more sun on the water, I think this spot's gonna be absolutely hitting, as well as the other areas we have started out fishing throughout the day. And we're just gonna reset the old bait, man. Find them holes. There we go. We're gonna use our line to guide us. That's what I'm talking about. Again, pretty excellent condition. Our line does, okay, those aren't phrases. That's just like weird little water debris or something. I don't know what that was. Well, let's get this back out there. So I ended up catching no more fish. I got a bit of a headache and decided to go home, but it is day 2 and we're back out here again. We are gonna be working with a different bait today. We're in the exact same area because really the way this week's been going, this is the closest thing I got to a sure thing out here on the water, and I'm really trying to catch some fish. Well, we very well might continue to throw that Baby D bomber a bit today. I did want to keep with the missile baits theme, and we're gonna be throwing the Baby Destroyer in green pumpkin flash. Good looking color right here. I am a bit concerned with the stainage. It looks like it might be pretty close, if not identical to it, but that could be a good thing out here. Anyhow, it's a very similar bait body-wise, but we do have these longer tails. Okay, this one's kind of messed up. Let me get another one. That's my bad. I took a look at these and I totally sealed it in the bag seal and we lost one of those feelers, but here's one that is fully intact. I don't think that's gonna make too huge of a difference. We got one left on that, but you got some appendages right here. These things that I think will give it a little bit of a swimming motion. I could only hope so. And of course, we got our flappers. Those things are gonna be flapping through the water. It's gonna make a lot of motion, and I think it's gonna get us a bit today. Let's get one of these rigged up and get it out on the water. I am gonna be upsizing my hook just slightly. We're going from a 2 to a 3-aught. I think a 2-aught would work just a-okay with this, but I did want a bit more hook considering how long this bait is. We'll see if it works out. Otherwise, I brought a ton of hooks with me. We'll find something that works. So here's a look at her all rigged up. We're sticking with that 1/8 ounce bullet sinker. Good looking bait right there. We got that hook tucked because we are going to be fishing some cover. We're picking up right where we left off out here. This is really the closest thing to a guarantee I have. Again, I am still coming off a skunk from earlier this week. I tried 2 different locations, fished them for a pretty long period of time, and I couldn't pull anything out of it. So it was this area right here. Even if we have a day like we did yesterday, that's a good day considering how tough the bite's been lately. But let's see what she looks like in the water. Very, very close to that stainage. Not saying we're not going to get bit. We do have a lot. There's a bit of contrast, but we got a lot of motion coming from those tails, as you can see. And let's get her in. Let's fish around for a while. If I don't pull something, if I don't get bit in about 15 minutes, we're going to make a jump. She feels good, not overly heavy. That was kind of my concern for the setup we're running right now. Very comfortable. That's a good fish. My goodness, my friends. All right, I thought we were hung, and we're on something nice. Okay. That didn't take very long. Hard to tell what this is. I'm hoping a big old bass. She isn't really rising up the way I'd expect. Oh my God, it is a monster. All right. Easy, easy, easy. We are running 8 pounds, so we gotta be fairly careful. That's a big bass, dude. I just saw the head on that thing. She is an absolute beast. We're gonna play her for a little bit. Just kind of get her in. Holy cow, my heart is pounding. This lake, kind of a lake, this area holds trophies, man. And this very well might be one of them. I didn't get too good of a look. Oh, she's a beast. She is a beast. Look at that fish. Please tell me my scale's got some batteries. Oh, My goodness, look at the size of her, my friends. Oh, oh, you took my bait, but that doesn't matter to me. Okay. Oh, we barely had her. Look at that fish. That's all a 5. That's probably more than 5 pounds. Oh God, I'm shaking. Shaking. Look at that bass, my friends. My goodness, we need some digits on this fish, dude. That is an absolute slob. That's a monster. Well, there we go, my friends. Just take a look at her. This is an absolute hog, easily the biggest largemouth I've pulled of the year. I'm gonna check my scale really quick. I'm not hopeful I have battery life, but if I do, that would be really, really nice to know how big this bad boy actually is. And then we're gonna get her back in. Zeros. 5.5 1/4. I'll take that. You never know with these scales, man. This is a piece of junk. I need to get a better one. There we go. One more look at her. Let's get her back in, my friends. An absolute hog. All right. Okay. And off she goes, man. What an excellent fish, my friends. My heart's still pounding. What a good way to start the day out here. Yeah, that was one of those fish where I hooked into that thing and it felt like a log. I thought for sure I was snagged. Then it started moving, man. It was an absolute tank. 5 point whatever it was. I thought it was bigger, man, until I actually saw it. They always shrink when you get them on the actual scale. And again, that thing is a piece of junk. Who knows if it's calibrated right now. It was a big fish regardless, and something to be thankful for. They're not unheard of out of this area. I've only caught a couple from this body of water right here. But I do have a dude I used to work with who pulled a 9 point something out of the body of water that feeds this one. So they're in here, man. Maybe we'll get another one. Probably not. If that was the only fish I'd caught today, I would be thankful. So we're going on an exploration mission. I want to find another hidden spot from the bank in this area. It is pretty big and there's a lot of it I haven't quite explored yet. Due to the water levels being so high, they have dropped recently. They were like up to around here where I was having to climb around this stuff. Right over here, I couldn't really get past that area. I had to get in, unfortunately, to get around that stuff, but it's lowered, so I'm pretty content with that largemouth. Let's see if we can find another hidden spot out here. So we do have some cover that looks really good, and it looks like there's a ton of bait in this water. So we're gonna post up here, we're gonna throw a few casts out, and then we're gonna keep on moving. So this area varies a lot. We're gonna be looking for cover sources like this, obviously, but also kind of rockier bottoms. This stuff's super muddy. There isn't quite as much rock here. So I think if we do find another patch of it, there's probably gonna be fish up on it. We may mess around with some other baits out here as well. Something that pops just a little bit more. This is super close to our stage. I think we're gonna have to get pretty close to these fish. Doesn't seem to have very much drawing power. And again, I'm judging it solely based on 20 minutes of not catching a fish in that other area. So yeah, I don't really know. And what's around the magical bend? That's the question. So this stuff is very, very shallow. Looks like I can get down to it over here if it turns out being a decent spot, but it does look a lot muddier. Man, let's see what we're working with. Huh. Well, that's looks like it stops here, so that's not as exciting as I thought it would be. Yeah, this stuff looks super shallow, super muddy. Oh, there we go. We got a fish. We got a fish. Oh my gosh, I was just texting my brother. She's pulling. She's really shallow. Okay, yeah, she's not huge, man. There we go. Looks like they want that slow bite today, man. Awesome. All right, that's number 2. Oh, we barely had her. Actually, we got her hooked in kind of a wonky way. Beautiful. An itty bitty one. But something to be thankful for right out of that cover. So after kind of exploring that area and being, well, I'm gonna be real with y'all, it was a bit disappointing. I thought that I could like get over on this stuff, but it looks like it's privately owned. I'll get her back in. Came back here, responding to a text, just popping around that little bluish craw, and we pulled one right out of there. I believe it's a June bug craw. So we did just catch that fish on our H2OX craw, our Academy brand craw, and we might work that into the rotation. I end up with so many half bags of baits when I'm making these videos, these bait specific ones, and I wanted to put this one to use. I really wanted the color out here due to the stainage. The other day when I was here, it was fairly stained, and today it's just about the same. So we might work this into the rotation a little heavier now, see if it makes a difference. So we're back on some more familiar water, and I consider that side quest a success. We unlocked a new spot, caught a fish there. It's definitely worth going back to. However, we're gonna start focusing on this, and I am gonna throw that craw around a little bit more, see if they're more inclined to eat that out of this area. So we're gonna start out in this general area, casting, really fanning out in this direction. I can typically pull them out of this stretch of water. We'll see if anything's sitting there. After we do that for a while, we're gonna work our way down to the area where we caught that initial larger fish from, hit one more spot, and then I'll probably pack it up. But I'm hoping we can knock out some numbers. We definitely got the quality. Now let's try to get that quantity. Oh, we got a fish on it. There's a big snake right in front of me. All right. Oh, I gotta get around these logs. There we go. A decent one. Snake in the water. Couldn't tell what she was. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Super pretty one on that craw, and that's a pretty good sign for this area that they're eating right here, man. Hopefully there's some more. Let's get her back in. I was getting a little concerned on that quest, then again, I don't know the waters very well. But a pretty fish. Oh, she's jumping for us. Yeah, I don't know where that snake went. I couldn't really tell. And we're just moving up a couple feet into that area. So that snake was more than likely a common water snake. I couldn't tell. I couldn't really see it. I just saw its head and its silhouette shooting through the water. They're definitely not afraid to be here. I've actually caught a snake once. I was fishing not too far from here, and I thought I had a stick on my bait, right? I was fishing a tube with an exposed hook, and I went to flip that stick up so I could free my hook from it, and sure enough, it was a big old snake. It scared the heck out of me. So we fished around that last area for a minute and nothing, so we're hitting our final spot of the day, and one I can typically pull fish at. We'll see what we can do down here. Got spider webs all up in my beard right now. And here we are. Super pretty, man. Just around here over by that log. That's where I think we're gonna be able to pull our next fish out of. Oh, there we go. Fish on, fish on. Oh, she feels decent, dude. Come on in. Oh, I just spooked myself, man. Thought there was like, now I'm all tripping because of snakes. Oh, man. Oh, that is a, that looks like a buffalo. It's some form of carp. And I think we foul hooked it. I think I have it by the tail. That's unfortunate, man. If it's a buffalo, it very well might have eaten it. I can't tell if it's an Asian or a buffalo. I thought I saw scaling on it, which leads me to believe it's a big old buffalo. This rod is really not strong enough. There's my test. We're probably gonna lose this line. We'll see if we can get her in. Oh, we might have her by the mouth, actually. It might be a buffalo. They'll eat baits like this, especially when they get to this larger size. They get pretty aggressive. Fight isn't easy because it's super, oh yeah, she ate it, man. That's a big old buff eating our craw. Well, that makes me feel a lot better about this. Caught her fair and square. I don't show foul hooked fish on this channel because it just doesn't feel right. Oh yeah. That's a big old buff, man. So these buffalo fish, they aren't carp, part of the sucker family, right? And they will absolutely eat your soft plastics. I catch them all the time on them. I won't say all the time, but there's a time of year where I catch a handful of them every year on these. I don't know what this guy's deal is. if his boat's messed up or what. But he keeps shooting back and forth super fast, stirring up the water. I can't tell if he's just really inconsiderate, trying to have fun, or if he's having some kind of issues. There we go. Oh yeah, we gotta tire this one out. Big buff, man. And we got her by the mouth for sure. I usually catch them on jig heads. Look at the size of that one, man. She might pull one more time. I'm gonna snap this rod. Let's let out a bunch of line. Just get this out of here. All right, so as you guys can see, she gobbled up that EWG, which might be kind of hard to get her unhooked. All right. I'm sorry, girl. Look, dude, I'm trying to get you unhooked, and I'm not trying to take a hook to the hand right now. Jeez. Man, these fish are super strong, dude. Oh, that's, oh, shit. Well, this guy's going absolutely crazy in his boat over here. We got our, we got the old buffalo free. He was banging around, and yeah, so my rod just snapped, okay? So that just happened. This is like a $340 rod or something like that. Total bummer, man. I am definitely gonna, there's like a warranty on it or whatever, man, but total mood killer. This guy's driving me absolutely crazy out here. I don't know what's going on. I think his boat's messed up, but shooting back and forth in the chaos with the buffalo. So yeah, man, I'm not gonna show the actual snap because I freaked out, and that happened. That absolutely blows, man. I actually got this one fairly recently. It's not the first one I've broken like this. Gosh, man. A bummer, man. I'm probably gonna try to catch one more fish and then just go home. Part of me wants to go home, but part of me doesn't want to leave on such a negative note. I've broken a handful of rods on this channel. I actually broke that rod's sister, the exact same one. I got replaced on this channel as well. But that was my fault. That was flipping a fish. This one, I don't think that was my fault very much. I mean, I don't know what I really could have done there. You saw that fish was going absolutely crazy. Sure, we didn't pick it up on this camera, but on this one, I was like wrestling that thing, man. Man, that was absolute chaos. My sunglasses flew off my head. I had to go swimming for these. They're all scratched up. It's cool. They're like $20 sunglasses, but still, man, what a drag. Basically, it was sheer chaos. Y'all saw part of it, at least. I'm not gonna show the actual snap because I absolutely lost it, and I'm gonna have to edit out. Like, you wouldn't even be able to hear audio. I was cussing up a storm, but yeah, man, that boat was shooting back and forth. Like, it wasn't his fault, but there were tons of waves coming up here. I'm like on top of that fish wrangling it, and sure enough, man, my rod got snapped in the process. I'm pretty sure that fight was, I mean, it was overbearing on it, but I heard it smacking up on the rocks as that fish was flopping around. I was trying to hold it down. I don't know if I stepped on it or what happened, but not a good time, dude. Not a good time. Well, I hope you all have enjoyed the video so far. If you have, drop a like, subscribe, comment. It all helps push the channel, and I really greatly appreciate it. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the channel, this is the part of the video where we talk about the baits used in, well, the making of the video. So today we're going to be talking about missile baits, Baby D Bomb. I kept on calling it Baby D Bomber. It's Baby D Bomb and the Baby Destroyer. So here's a look at the two of them. Now, the Baby D Bomb has a length of 3.65 inches and weighs in at roughly 6.40 grams. Now, I'm not 100 on the length. I pulled it from a Google search because it was not stamped anywhere on the bag. Now, the Baby Destroyer, on the other hand, weighs in at roughly 6.09 grams. So it actually weighs less than the Baby D Bomb, though it is longer. This bait is 5 inches long, again, according to my Google search, because it's also not listed on the packaging. However, you can tell right here the body of this is a bit thicker, given the that's where the added weight comes from right there. Aesthetically, man, I think these are some sharp looking baits. I really like them. So they both have a very similar main body. It's like ringed, it's ribbed. You can see right here, I like that. It gives it a nice little motion, a little bit of flap, and helps with some straight up rigging. And you got these two little things right here. Now, I thought that these would give it a side to side action. I'm not 100% on that. So I tried to show it in the water. It was very hard for me to see in that early morning lighting, and I didn't really take another hard look at it, but I liked the motion. It did have a good flap to it. If anything, they add weight, they add motion in the water. And then you got your main two flappers right here, which I really, really like. They're very, very thin, but I didn't run into any issues with them kind of getting ripped off or anything like that. Now, moving on to our Baby Destroyer. Now, both of these baits have baby in the name because they do in fact have larger versions. However, I wanted the more downsized stuff for that area, and I was just out there trying to catch fish. I did order these a while ago. It was my first time getting them on the water though. Now, the Baby Destroyer, very similar body. You have some appendages right here to add to that profile. Again, you got these things, these flappers, whatever you want to call them, down to your two tentacles, which have a really great motion in the water. I think they're both pretty sharp looking baits. I liked them. Our on the water performance was impressive. This bait right here, the Baby D Bomb, was outstanding, man. It had excellent power. It just brought them in, had a really nice flap to it. I love the size, I love the profile. I had no doubt that it was gonna get munched by just about any bass in that water, as well as any other species that saw it and could actually fit it in its mouth. Really, really decent action on the water. Overall, excellent bait, outstanding on the water performance. I can say the same for this one. Again, didn't fish this one quite as much. However, I did, I like the action. I like the flap it had. Obviously, we caught a monster bass on it, man. It did very, very well. I like both of these baits. So let's talk durability. I didn't notice any mega issues whatsoever. In fact, I'm pretty impressed with both of these baits. This one, we caught a couple fish on the same exact bait. No issues there. I did end up snagging a handful of them after that third fish because I was just fishing really, really covered up areas, trying to get something to bite. Of course, you're gonna run into a few breakoffs here and there, but the actual bait, like popping snags off, catching multiple fish on it, no issues. Really, really impressed. No really bad splitting up top, which is what I generally expect out of baits that have plastic this light. And the plastic does feel very, very light. I mean, you saw the weight on it. It is fairly light stuff, and it's got this kind of ribbed body, but it excelled, man. No major hook wear, nothing like that. Didn't lose any feelers, any appendages. And the Baby Destroyer, well, we didn't use this bait quite as much. Really, I was out there, I have no doubt this would get hit, but I started getting in my head after not catching a fish for a minute, and we were scouring that new area really with it was just on par with my stainage. I didn't think it popped quite as much. I knew that first fish, I knew we were gonna pull one out of that area. That's why I was confident fishing this around there. However, I wanted to switch that darker color, even if it didn't do anything. Mentally, it did. Sometimes you need that additional confidence. The only issue I had was zipping this in the Ziploc, which these bags have an excellent seal. I'm gonna throw that out there right now, and losing one of these. But I mean, it's a great bait. From what I could tell from fishing it, it was very, very similar to this bait durability wise. I give them both 2 thumbs up. Excellent durability on each of these baits. Packaging wise, I absolutely love it, man. I think it's very well thought out, very well designed. So you have your Missile Baits logo right here, your little missile, your clear window to your baits. I love the black and red. It really, really pops. On the back, you got this lovely American flag. Gotta appreciate anything made in the USA. As a proud American, I certainly do. And you gotta love that pitch it thing, man. Throw your trash away. Come on, guys. Everybody knows that, right? Now let's get into our pricing. We're gonna be working with Tackle Warehouse's price. This is also a direct reflection of Academy's pricing, so they both did carry the same price for both of these baits, and they're the 2 main places I buy my lures at, so it works out. I purchased these ones from Tackle Warehouse. Now I did write this down because, well, sometimes it can be a lot to remember. So your Baby D Bomb comes in a 7-pack for $4.69, which breaks down to a unit price of 67 cents per lure, man, and that's an outstanding deal, let me tell you right now. Now your baby destroyer, on the other hand, this bad boy comes in a 10 pack and they're listed at $569 per pack. So you are getting 3 additional baits, that's $569, so it's a little more expensive for that 10 pack. I think that is an outstanding value for the quality of these baits. I love to see the price, it's extremely fair, and it is on the lower tier for, I'd say, a bait of this quality. I think it's a really great deal. And that pretty much does it. Final thoughts, really, I like missile baits. I like the baits, I really do. I thought they were pretty outstanding. I think it's a very good price. I was kind of surprised when I read that price. I had ordered these online a while ago and they both performed very, very well. They're both very high quality baits. I love the plastic, man. They got the job done on a very tough week. Like I said, I was coming off the skunk. I was a bit concerned I wasn't even gonna be able to film a video out there, you know? But we had a couple great days on them, man. I really, really like this one. I'm gonna order some more of these. I wanna get another pack of these in a different color though. I do like the color, man. Don't get me wrong. This would work on like any other body of water. That water has a really muddy stain to it, and it matches this like identically. So we're gonna give these baits a rating of 4.5 stars because they were both outstanding. Really, that price impressed me. I expected them to be more expensive. Don't you think so, buddy, man? Yep. Awesome baits. This is way out of order. I actually forgot to throw in the rating, which is a thing we've been doing on this channel, so I'm filming it right now and inserting it right here. Anyhow, guys, I had a lot of fun making this video. Unfortunately, I snapped that rod. Eventually I'm gonna send it back in and try to like get another one or whatever, which absolutely blew. And I was kind of like looking at that footage, what I think happened. So I basically cut it before I got on top of that fish, started popping the bait out. So what you saw wasn't the actual rod snap. I think I stepped on it pretty much. I'm gonna like take blame on that, or it got like knocked on the rocks really hard, whatever. It was kind of my fault. I was kind of deflecting the blame there because I was really upset, but I'm gonna take full responsibility for breaking that rod right there. It is what it is, man. That kind of stuff happens. You use rods a lot. I mean, the amount that I fish a lot, and I break rods sometimes, so I got some good use out of it. It was a good day to loser, man. We caught a big old bass. It was a good way that she went out that way after hauling in that fish. If I would have caught that fish on my spinning gear, I would have felt a little bad for that rod, but it served its purpose. It did well. Anyhow, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and get some good fish on, my friends. I will catch you next time.